but it's the only way you're ever gonna learn. You look back and it's all in the past. I'm dwelling on the thoughts I cannot say to you. If I don't say the words, then maybe it's not true. And it feels alright.
Welcome along to NUFC Matters with me, Steve Wraith. It is the next episode of the much maligned quiz. I think on our WhatsApp group, there's nerves kicking in and all sorts, yep. Steve. But welcome along, mate. You've been selected to take part in it this year. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, trepidation. It's a big test. This, mate, big test. God, no revision either. No revision.
No, well, that's not so bad. But yeah, we go Toon Teasers. It's the NUFC Matter quiz show, and thanks to John, he has sponsored the trophy for us. So there's the trophy. If you win, you get a trophy, Steve, which will be the first bit of silverware for Newcastle this season. So looking forward to seeing how you fare. As always, 3 rounds. First round's a Newcastle United round. Second round is a general football round. And the third round is a picture board round. This, of course, is pre-recorded, so people can't spoil it for you or help you. It just means that people at home watching the pre-record can have fun in the chat and test their own knowledge about Newcastle United. I will give the answers at the end, but I won't give you your final score. That'll be revealed on the last episode when the final person takes the quiz. And, of course, I will be fully aware of who has won. So, are you ready, Steve?
Yep, fire away.
All right. I will be jotting down your answers, right or wrong. So here we go with question 1 in the Newcastle United round. Newcastle United's Champions League hopes were shattered in the qualifying rounds in 2003-2004 by who?
Croatia Zagreb.
Okay, as I said, I will mark your answer down and move on now to question 2. Question 2. Who was the club's first manager in their history?
I know. It's a good one. It was way back in the 1929, wasn't it? Somewhere like that. Was it Patterson?
Not Keith Patterson.
No, not Keith Patterson, obviously.
Is that your final answer, Steve?
Yeah, go for that. All right.
Patterson. Okay. Question 3. What was the capacity of St. James's Park in 2010?
Oh, 2010. Was it 38,200 and something?
8,200. Is that your final answer on that one, Steve?
Yeah, go by that, yeah.
All right. Question 4. From which club did Newcastle sign Tino Asprilla?
Palmer.
Palmer is Steve's answer. Question 4. Mark that down. And halfway there on the Newcastle questions. Question 5. Where was Brian Pop Robson born?
Where was he born? Somewhere in Durham. The exact town, not too sure. I'm sure he was born in Durham. No, I wouldn't have a clue on a town. I'm sure he was born in County Durham.
Okay, you're going for County Durham on Pop Robson's birthplace.
Yeah.
So that down. Question 6. Who did Kevin Keegan make his debut against?
QPR.
No hesitation on that one. Queen's Park Rangers for Steve on that one. Who scored the winner for Newcastle United in the 1952 FA Cup final?
Oh. Was it George Hanna?
George Hanna is Steve's answer for that one. Mark that one down, and we'll go on to question 8, which is Chris Hughton was sacked in December 2010, but after what match?
Oh, yeah. What was it? Was it Sunderland?
Sunderland?
Yeah.
Are you going for that as your
Yeah, I'll
final
go with
answer?
that. I'm just guessing.
Okay, Sunderland, of course, and Newcastle played Sunderland in the Premier League that season. So that's Steve's answer. Question 9. How many Champions League goals did Alan Shearer score for Newcastle United in Europe?
Ooh, good question. Good question. That's a tough one. Do you get marks for being near or nearabouts?
Unfortunately not. I started in one way, I've got to finish in that way for everybody.
Yeah.
I know the lads have said it is quite tough, this.
Did he score 9?
You going for 9, Steve?
Yeah, I'll go 9. Go your shirt number.
Okay. Mark that down, and we move on to your final Newcastle United question, which is, what position did Newcastle finish in the Premier League in season 95-96?
95-96. Third.
Okay, third is Steve's answer.
Right.
And that rounds off your Newcastle United round, Steve.
Thank God for
that. Always pressure on that one when it's about your own club. Okay, moving on to the general knowledge football round.
Right.
You ready, Steve?
Yep. General knowledge. Right.
Yeah, general knowledge, but it is football. It's your general knowledge of football. Who was the first player to be sent off in an FA Cup final?
Paul Moran.
Paul Moran?
Manchester United, yeah.
Is that your final answer, Steve?
Yep, I'll go with that.
Okay. Question 2. As of 2022, how many Ballon d'Or awards has Lionel Messi won?
7.
7, Steve, is your answer. I'll mark that down. And I'll move on to question 3, which is, what stadium is home to Bayern Munich?
That's Bayern Munich is the Allianz Arena.
Allianz Arena is Steve's answer. Spelling that right. And we'll move on to question 4. Dele Alli moved to Tottenham Hotspur from which EFL club?
Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes. Is that a football club, Steve?
Yep. I think it was them.
Milton Keynes. So,
yeah, Milton Keynes. We'll go for that.
Okay.
Was that? Did they change their name? Because they're the ones that became Wimbledon, aren't they?
So you're going for Milton Keynes, yeah? That's the answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I going with them? Hang on. Change my mind.
You don't have to, Steve. It's up to you.
Do you not? I was going to say Wycombe Wanderers after that, but I'll stick with my first answer. It's probably wrong. I'll stick with my first answer. Milton Keynes.
Okay. And the 5th question: when Wimbledon won the FA Cup, who scored the winner in the final?
Laurie Sanchez.
Laurie Sanchez. Steve's answer for question 5. And question 6. Which manager gave Gareth Southgate his England debut?
Right. Terry Venables.
Terry Venables is Steve's answer for the England manager who gave Gareth Southgate his England debut. And moving on to question 7. Who were the first team to win the European Cup in 1956?
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid is Steve's answer. And we move on in the general knowledge round. Question 8. Name the 3 players who shared the Premier League Golden Boot in 2019.
Oh, yeah, me. 2019. Three players shared it.
Mm-hmm.
Kane must have been one. So I'll go Harry Kane. Salah for 2. And who else would it be? Salah. Sadio Mane. Let's go for the 3 of them.
Okay. Your answer to that was Kane, Salah, and Mane. Question 9. Which nation has won the African Cup of Nations the most times?
Ooh. Good one, that. Choice of 3. At least I've got a choice of 3 in my head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. I think it could be Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was thinking Senegal,
Mm-hmm.
and I was thinking Egypt. They're my 3, so I'm going to choose one of them. Obviously, I'm going to choose the wrong one. That's the way that works.
You might not, Steve. You might surprise yourself.
I'll say Egypt.
Okay, Egypt is Steve's answer. And finishing off your general knowledge round, question 10. How many teams originally competed in the Premier League?
How many teams originally competed? So the number of teams in the very first Premier League season, 22.
Okay, Steve says 22. And that completes the general knowledge football round. So we will have a quick ad break, and then we will finish Steve's quiz with the picture board, which certainly sends shiver through the other lads' spines.
Yeah, more shivers, you mean?
Here we go.
A big thanks to all our sponsors, Skips and Bins. You can find them at skipsandbins.com or telephone 0800 25 45 25 3. Email inquiries at skipsandbins.com. Website skipsandbins.com. Easy contract free and pay-as-you-go waste collection. Big thanks to Mr. Vicky's sauces handmade in Cumbria. You can order them from their website, mrvickys.co.uk, or by telephoning 01768 210 102. A big thanks also to New Workwear. You can find them at newworkwear.com. They're an agile and dedicated workwear provider. Welcome back as well to United Travel. They are a UK coaches firm, and they are based in the Northeast. They've got 2024 tours, and you can contact them on 01670 632 460 or mobile 0791 666 4174. Email info@unitedgrouptravel.com, and they've got a website which is unitedgrouptravel.com. There's no strangers on their tours, just people you haven't met yet. Big thanks to them for their sponsorship. Big thanks as well to Media Arts, and they supply all the video technology. If you want to become a member and get a cup, a pen, a membership card, and a scarf, then get your smartphone and put it over this QR code. It will take you straight to the membership pack. It's a £25 one-off fee. You can also go to NUFC Matters website and search membership pack to book today. If you want to help the channel, then subscribe to it by hitting the subscribe button. Hit the thumb up under the video to like the video and click share to share to your other social media. We're also available as a podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast providers. Don't forget, we help the food bank on this channel. If you want to do so virtually, go to nufcfansfoodbank.co.uk and make a donation today. The Alan Shearer raffle is back on. 150 tickets, £1 a ticket. Win a limited edition signed Alan Shearer ball. Enter today at nufcmatters.com.
Okay, the picture round for Steve Hastie. Five pictures of players as kids. So you have to try and identify them. And then the next five are former Newcastle players. You just got to name them.
I thought you were going to say players as pensioners.
Okay, Steve. People either love this round or they hate this round. But here you go. Here's your first player. Which player is this?
Dear me, who's that?
And I can't give any help in these, you know. I'm not giving any help to anybody, but I mean, it's sometimes when you look at these pictures, and I did say this to the lads previous, you can see it, and it's sometimes it's only obvious, I guess, when you get the answer. But
that's some crew cup, mate, isn't it? Dear me.
It is.
Who is that? Is it John Terry? Put John Terry down.
Okay, I'm putting that down. John Terry for your first one. I'm
just thinking it looks like an old Chelsea strip, that's all.
Yeah, hey, well, dafter things have happened. You never know. Okay, second footballer.
Oh.
Always worth having a guess, Steve, even if you've got no idea, which I couldn't imagine.
I'll say that's Joe Linton then.
Okay. Mark that down, Joe Linton. And the three.
Oh. Who on earth is that? You're looking at that and you think, I should know that. I should.
Well, this is the thing with these pictures. Sometimes you
get it straight away, or you agonise. You know who it looks like? It looks like a young Paul McCartney. That, yeah, dear me. Maybe it's just a mop haircut. Take
your time, Steve. You don't have to. You don't have to rush on it. So.
No, just. Is it a young Peter Beardsley? I'll put a young Peter Beardsley down.
Okay, I'm going to mark that down, Steve.
You need to put young in front of it and just Peter Beardsley.
Okay, Peter Beardsley is Steve's answer for that one. And 4.
I think that's Rio Ferdinand.
Final answer on that one? Rio Ferdinand.
Okay. Rio Ferdinand.
Bear with me. I'm going to write that down. And your last one from the footballers as kids is that.
Who on earth is that? I haven't a clue on that. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go wild card here, Steve. I'm gonna say Kieran Trippier.
Kieran Trippier.
Yeah, put that down as my answer.
Okay, mate, that's down as your answer. That's the harder section over, you would think.
I hope it was.
Picture 6. Who's this former Newcastle player?
Former Christ, at first I thought it was Jimmy Vardy.
He's got the look of him. He's certainly got the look of him.
How on earth is that? Hey. I haven't a clue, Steve, on that. I haven't a clue. Dear me, I'm gonna
pass.
No, not pass. I'll put a name in. I'll put a name in, and just it might as well be a pass. Scott Sloan.
Scott Sloan, always worth a guess.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, who's this former Newcastle player?
That's the king of the punks. That it's got to be, just judging by the eyes. Surely, is it Stuart Pearce?
Stuart Pearce is Steve's answer for that one, and we'll move on to picture 8. Former Newcastle player. Who is it?
Former Newcastle player. Just looking back. I don't have a clue on that. Dear me. I'll just go wild again. I'm looking, just thinking of the age. Is it Bogey?
Bogey?
Yeah.
Ian Bogey?
Ian Bogey.
Okay. Pop that down as your answer. And we'll move on to number 9.
Is that Gail Biggie Ramona?
Gail Big Ramona.
Yeah.
Is Steve's answer, which I will mark down. And his final photograph is this man. Former Newcastle player. Who is it?
Now at Man City. Who on earth is that? Man City. That's an old Man City badge as well, isn't it? Definitely played for Newcastle.
He played for Newcastle, yeah.
Dear me. It's not Pat Howard, is it?
Pat Howard.
Yeah, put that down.
Steve's answer. Always worth having a guess. I keep saying that, Steve.
That's all. They were all guesses.
That's great, Steve. Okay, well, that completes the quiz.
I
will go back through now the questions and give you the answers. I won't give you a score. That will be revealed who the winner is.
I know one. I said Milton Keynes, didn't I? And that was like the MK being for MK Dons. But apart from the rest, I think.
Okay, well, here we go. Here's your answers. So Newcastle round. Newcastle United's Champions League hopes were shattered in the qualifying rounds in 2003, 2004 by who? You said Croatia Zagreb. The answer was actually Partizan Belgrade.
On
penalties, 4-3.
As soon as I said it, I thought, I've got the wrong blooming...
I've got
the right war, but the wrong club.
Question 2. Who was the club's first manager in their history? It was Frank Watt in 1895, 1930. He had a long period. You said Patterson. It wasn't Keith. But yes, he was there from 1895. So
that's because Patterson's been managing that club for the last 50 years anyway, hasn't he?
Yeah. Question 3, difficult one, because there was no way that you could get come close to it and get a point, which, maybe review that next season when we quiz. It is a bit harsh, some of the lads are saying. Question 3, what was the capacity of St James's Park in 2010? You said 38,200. There'd been a lot of redevelopment by then, Steve. It was 52,387.
You know what? I was trying to work out whether there was still fiddling around with the Leazes end at that point, and it was like, because all that redevelopment just blends into one, doesn't it? And I was thinking, this is a trick question. They're not going to go for what the attendance is roughly now. I thought that's not the way John Allen's brain works. That definitely not.
Oh, I did the quiz.
You did it. Oh well, it's certainly not the way your brain works.
John did the trophy. Question 4. From which club did Newcastle United sign Tino Asprilla? You said Parma. Computer said yes. Well done, Steve. That is correct. He came from Parma. Question 5. Where was Brian Pop Robson born? You were looking to give a place. You said County Durham. The answer we were looking for was Sunderland. He was born.
I did go through my mind. I nearly said Sunderland, and I thought, well, I've said County Durham, so I'll just stick with that now. But Sunderland was something about, and then I thought, oh, that's because he played for Sunderland,
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Well, process of elimination on these things. Yeah. Question 6, there was no need for a process of elimination on that. Who did Kevin Keegan make his debut against? Yeah. Quick answer from Steve, QPR. Answer, of course, was QPR. Question 7, who scored the winner for Newcastle in the 1952 Cup final? You were confident with your answer on that one as well. George Hanna.
I'm thinking I got that wrong. Yeah.
George Robledo.
Yeah.
Wrong, George.
As I said I realised I'd gone to the wrong one. Yeah, me.
Wrong, George. Never mind. Question 8. Chris Hughton was sacked in December 2010, but after which game? You thought it might have been the Sunderland game, the one on Halloween. Of course, Newcastle running out 5-1 winners against Bruce's Mackems, but it was actually a 3-1 defeat to West Brom on the 6th of December, which saw Newcastle part ways with Chris Hughton, who had done so well in the manager's hot seat. How many Champions League goals did Alan Shearer score for Newcastle and Newcastle United in Europe? Was question 9. You took a bit of time over this. You were trying to work it out. You said 9. You weren't far off, but you don't get anything for being 2 goals off. It was 7 goals Alan scored in the Champions League.
You know what it was? It was because he had that injury spell when we were playing in the Champions League under Dalglish as well. Yeah, and I was thinking to myself, did he get more after he came back? Because obviously he'd missed it, and I didn't want to go above 9.
Yeah,
I just erred on the side of he did get quite a few, but I didn't realise. Hey, that's 7. That'll haunt me forever now. That one.
At least you'll remember.
Question 7 questions will.
Question 10. What position did Newcastle finish in the Premier League season 95-96? You said 3rd, Steve.
It was 2nd, wasn't it?
It was 2nd.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to your general knowledge. Question 1. Who was the first player to be sent off in an FA Cup final? In 1995, Steve, it was Kevin Moran, not Paul Moran.
Kevin Moran. Oh, dear me. Wrong Moran.
Wrong Moran.
Not Ronnie Moran.
Not Ronnie Moran. Question 2. As of 2022, how many Ballon d'Or awards has Lionel Messi won?
Oh.
Confidently, you said 7. And you were right to be confident, Steve.
Oh, dear me.
7. Well done, mate. Well done. Good knowledge.
I knew that him and Ronaldo were on 6 each, but I couldn't remember. I was toying. I was going to say 6, and then I thought, no, I'm sure he's gone 1 or more, after the World Cup and all that business, So
remember your gut instinct, which is sometimes the right thing to do. Question 3. What stadium is home to Bayern Munich? You said again quite confidently Allianz Arena, and you were right with that one as well, Steve.
Wow.
Which is another point in the bag. I've got to be harsh on question 4 because you said Dele Alli moved to Tottenham Hotspur from which EFL club? You said Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
That wasn't the answer we were looking for.
It was
MK
MK
Dons.
Yeah, MK Dons.
And because it's written in that specific way, I'd have to be fair to the lads.
Right, yeah.
I've got to be fair to the lads on that. But you pick yourself back up again with question 5. When Wimbledon won the FA Cup, who scored the winner in the final? Now, a lot of people get this question wrong because a lot of people think it's Alan Cork. And, of course, you said Laurie Sanchez.
Yeah.
And that's who it was. Laurie Sanchez with the goal. Question 6. Which manager gave Gareth Southgate his England debut? Your mind was ticking over on this one, but eventually you came to the right answer, which was Terry Venables.
Wow, brilliant!
You
know what? I listened to his interview yesterday on one of the radio shows, and he was talking about Venables. And that's the only reason I went for it. And I thought he never mentioned Graham Taylor, and or Ron Greenwood or anybody else. Taylor was the one. And I thought I'll just stick with that. So
well done. Question 7. Who were the first team to win the European Cup in 1956? You said Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
The answer was Real Madrid. Another point in the bag for Steve Hastie. Cooking on gas in this.
Charge, yeah.
Question 8 was difficult. And what I have done, obviously, is giving you a three-part question. Yeah. If you got 2 of the 3, you would get a half a point. You had to get 3 to get a point. So, name the 3 players who shared the Premier League Golden Boot in 2019. You said Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Harry Kane wasn't.
Was he not?
You said Salah.
Yeah.
And Mane, which gets you half a point.
Right.
The missing link that season for you was Aubameyang.
Was it?
Yeah. So Aubameyang, Salah and Mane shared the Golden Boot in 2019.
I would never have plumped for him, mind.
Everybody would go for Kane, I think. But half a point for question 8 for Steve. Question 9. Which nation has won the African Cup of Nations the most? Now, this was a process of elimination. Cameroon, Senegal, Egypt. You ummed and ahed. You went for Egypt. And once again, Steve, your gut instinct was right. Egypt had won it 7 times.
Wow.
So well done, Steve, on that one. And final question in the general knowledge round, question 10. How many teams originally competed in the Premier League? You said 22. The answer was 22. So great end to your general knowledge round there.
Redeemed yourself a little bit.
Yeah, the Newcastle round, put yourself under pressure. You certainly do. Yeah. The picture board, well, it's like potluck, this. It really is. Question 1 was this fella. That is David Luiz.
Is it?
Minus the hair.
Dear me.
Very difficult.
Cannot see that at all.
You said John Terry for that one, Steve. I can see where you were coming from. You had a process of elimination with a blue shirt. This one, you went for Joe Linton. He's got the look of Joe Linton, mind. Yeah. It was worth, again, it's always worth having a guess. It was, in fact, not Joe Linton. It was Danny Alvarez.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. This guy who you said had a look at Peter Beardsley.
Yeah.
Is, in fact, Cesc Fabregas.
Right. I can see it now. I can see that now. Yeah.
And Steve, well done. Question 4. Rio Ferdinand.
Was it?
You got one. Well done, mate. Absolutely brilliant. I think most people at home, when you said Rio Ferdinand, would have looked at that and gone, it is. This one was a bit more subtle, but I still think when you look into this kid's face, when I tell you that it wasn't Kieran Trippier, but it was, in fact, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, you can see that in that photograph.
It's in the eyes, isn't it?
Yeah. Amazing. But
good picture.
It's difficult rounds, but Rio Ferdinand got you a point, which is great. On to the Newcastle players, which some find more difficult. Scott Sloan was your suggestion for this guy. It was Matty Appleby.
Of course it is. Yeah.
This one, you said Stuart Pearce, and I can see why.
Yeah. Psycho eyes.
He's got the psycho eyes, but it was in fact CM Dion.
Is it? Wow. Yeah.
This guy was at the club, signed professional contracts, didn't really break through, but was still well known in and around the Newcastle area back in the day, and went on to have a career in football. Lee Makel, not Ian Bogie.
Yes, another Wall's End lad, wasn't he? He went up to Scotland, didn't he?
He did, mate.
Yeah, I remember. He was good player, good little midfielder. It was quite a shock when he left, actually, because people thought that he was really going to make the grade, and then just disappeared. Around about the time of Watson and the rest of them, there was quite a little group that came from at that time, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good one, that, Steve.
It is. Question 9 then. Was this guy, you confidently said Gail Big Romana, and you were right, Steve.
Was that? Oh, thank God for that.
So another point in the bag for Steve. And the last one in the picture round.
Yeah.
Man City shirt had you scratching your head. You weren't 100% sure who it was. You're trying to suss the age out, but you went with Pat Howard. It wasn't. It was Glyn Hodges.
Glyn Hodges, of course. Aye. Dear me, these 8 goals.
Yeah, Glyn Hodges. That completed the picture round. So, Steve, it's just for fun. Obviously, there's a trophy up for grabs.
I thoroughly enjoyed that, Steve.
I hope you ended test and enjoyed testing your knowledge. And
absolutely, yeah, it was a good laugh. Really good. Really
great
good
stuff, mate. Good stuff. Well, best of luck, mate. I will speak to you soon. Take care, pal.
All the best.
We still do 7 NUFC Matters show a week for free. But if you want to help support NUFC Matters, then there are a few ways of doing it. Hit the like button on each live broadcast and video. This helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button and select the all notifications bell so you don't miss a single show. If you want to help us financially, then you can join the channel using this button with the membership starting at $1.99 a month. Or you can drop us a donation in the chat using a super sticker. We're also looking for sponsors. If you'd like your brand advertised on the flyers for the show and featured during the ad break, then email John at nufcmatters.com to arrange today.